Bogalusa's mayor is out of jail tonight after an early morning arrest. Mayor Tyron Trung was booked on multiple charges, including drug trafficking and soliciting prostitutes. Officials say this was the result of a months-long investigation into an organization that was selling drugs through social media. Multiple other people were also arrested, but many of Trung's supporters believe he is innocent. Tonight, the city council held its previously scheduled meeting. Our Whitney Miller was there and has reaction from residents and leaders in Bogalusa.
Yeah, tonight's city council meeting had previously been planned in advance of today, and it didn't originally have anything to do with this arrest, but the district attorney did come out and make an announcement which caused quite a reaction from the residents here in Bogalusa.
I don't want that to happen to our mayor. You guys are going to say it's racketeering and going to just pick up all these people for no reason, and that's wrong.
A passionate reaction Tuesday after District Attorney Colin Sims addressed residents of Bogalusa.
My job as DA is to prosecute based upon evidence alone. I don't care who it is.
Sims says that evidence shows Mayor Tyron Trung was a part of a large drug trafficking organization.
I know many of you are upset about a particular arrest. I am not here to comment about any one individual or anything else, or the evidence or anything else regarding anyone in particular. But it's one of 20.
Despite the alleged evidence, the arrest isn't sitting well with the community.
And this mayor is trying to straighten things out and make things better. The crooks don't want him to take over. They want to keep doing what they're doing. They don't like him because he's doing what's right.
DA Sims says the arrest was the result of a long-time drug investigation that just so happened to incriminate Trung.
But the evidence that was collected, the evidence that was reviewed, led to that incidentally.
Keith Merrill says Mayor Trung is being singled out.
They didn't like him exposing them. So this is retaliation. I said it and I'll say it again. It's a backlash from him standing up for what was right and exposing these good old boys.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Once again, we got to talk about another story where making history goes wrong, it backfires. And most of the time it does backfire, because when you have people that vote for individuals based off making history, okay, just so that they can take some type of virtue signaling victory lap, it usually doesn't end well, because the individuals that get voted into office typically are unqualified to be in office, and they're also extremely corrupt. Okay, this again is why they're running on making history, because they don't have anything else to run on, right? And that's essentially what happened with Tiffany Henyard out in Dalton, Illinois. I mean, we've covered that story for the past 2 years. They voted for her to make history, the first black woman mayor. Right now, again, look how that worked out. Okay, now we got to talk about another story in which you have the residents of Bogalusa, Louisiana, decided to make history by electing the youngest mayor in the city's history, Mr. Tyron Trung, at the age of 23 in the 2022 election. Now, this guy has been arrested for his alleged involvement in drug trafficking and prostitution. Okay, this guy is extremely young. He has basically no life experience. But for whatever reason, the residents of this town decided it would be a good idea to make this guy the mayor. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
Bonded out, the youngest mayor in state history, making headlines for the wrong reasons today, as Tyron Trung now finds himself at the center of a criminal investigation. The 26-year-old mayor spent the day in jail facing charges of solicitation of prostitution, drug trafficking, and gun charges. And new tonight, the district attorney says Trung is just part of a larger puzzle working to defraud the city. And now the city of Bogalusa looks for a way forward if these charges end up in convictions. WDS reporter Jonah Gilmore is live in Bogalusa with the latest and the council that just had a meeting tonight. Jonah?
Yeah, Sala, tonight's city council meeting was already scheduled to take place, and although the city council did not address the mayor's arrest, the district attorney and community felt it was appropriate to acknowledge.
The mayor is on his way home. He should be here in about 30 minutes.
And within minutes of that comment, Bogalusa's Mayor Tyron Trung left the Washington Parish Jail.
No comment.
Tuesday, many of the mayor's supporters addressed the city council.
I'm concerned about y'all arresting 20 and 30 people at a time and saying that these people have committed crime.
hours after he was arrested by state police on charges related to a drug and prostitution investigation.
It was unbelievable.
It's a setup.
I believe it was about 20-some cars. It don't take that much to lock down one man.
According to state police, the investigation began in April when their Narcotics and Violent Crime Task Force learned of a drug trafficking organization operating in Bogalusa.
7 of 20 were arrested.
District Attorney for the 22nd Judicial District, Colin Sims, says the mayor is just one piece of this investigation. He claims more arrests are on the way.
I know several of you are upset. You have a right to be upset. You deserve better than this. None of this is acceptable.
Well, apparently it is, because they are defending it, right? Which it's just like, it's like, come on. The dude basically got caught using taxpayer funds to solicit prostitutes at a mayor's conference, right? So this dude is paying for box with taxpayer money. Okay, allegedly, right? Allegedly. It's like, come on, man. You really defending this? Seriously? Yeah, I mean, hey, they're saying that this is a witch hunt, yada, yada, yada. They're just going after one guy. But it's like, no, they're not going after one guy, right? Apparently, this man was allegedly involved in a broader ring of individuals, criminals, who were trafficking drugs and using the proceeds from their drug sales to purchase firearms and to distribute those firearms to individuals who were prohibited from having firearms. Now, the crazy part about this is that this actually contributed to the crime problem going on in this city, right? This city has a crime problem, unsurprisingly, right? And this mayor is responsible for trying to tackle the crime problem. Now, this mayor has not been friendly towards the local police. As mayor, he tried to move to disband the police and to give the responsibility of policing over to the broader parish sheriff's department.
City council meeting in Bogalusa tonight with the room packed with police officers as the future of the city's police department was discussed.
And the mayor wants to dissolve the Bogalusa PD in favor of deputies from the Washington Parish Sheriff's Office. David Jones joins us with more from Bogalusa.
Lauren and Meg, the meeting was contentious at times. Everyone in the room agreed that they all want what's best for the city. But after police leadership learned last week that the mayor was considering potentially dissolving the Bogalusa PD, they decided to show out.
This is not a town hall meeting, it's a council meeting.
It was a fiery meeting with strong opinions expressed from both sides.
If they're going to have to be subjected to something like this, I think that they need to have a better shake on the composition of the board.
City Council, absolutely, unequivocally, crime is up.
I'm not up here to say anything negative because I've seen a lot of positiveness, and we need to all just stick together.
The way ERUPT did it was that they downsized their force down to like 2 or 3, and they just cut a check to the sheriff's office.
Mayor Tyron Trong, pointing to similar downsizing in Abita Springs, is floating the idea of dissolving Bogalusa PD and shifting law enforcement duties in the town over to the Washington Parish Sheriff's Office. Trong says the department is top-heavy, with too many supervisors in the building and not enough officers on the streets. It's also about $650,000 over budget.
On any given day, you have more captains and lieutenants and in the upper administration in the office versus patrolmen. The citizens of Bogalusa need more patrolmen out on the streets, not people behind a desk.
Opponents fear the board's eventual report already has a predetermined outcome and would be used as leverage by the mayor to dissolve BPD. Membership on the board would include 1 representative from BPD and 1 from the sheriff's office, as well as the mayor, 3 citizens appointed by the mayor, and 1 council member. Supporters say Trong is a change mayor, elected to shake things up in Bogalusa, and that the city should look for ways to cut costs.
We try to run the department in a very transparent manner. We're open to the public. We're open to all avenues of administration.
Troy Turvalon is acting assistant chief at Bogalusa PD. He says the department has been running with a skeleton crew over the past year or so.
We've cut our overtime over half compared to what we did last year. We really feel like we've been doing our part as far as the budget's concerned, and we're open to suggestions. We're just not open to the possibility of dissolving the police department. The men and women at this department love the city.
When the fiscal administrator took over the city, he stated that we needed to downsize our police department, but with the crime rate how it is, I don't think we need to downsize. We should probably just try to get more bang for our buck and spend that money over at the sheriff's office for more coverage.
Tempers.
Yeah. So as per the usual, when it comes to these individuals that are put into office, that are elected to make history, it ends up in a complete and total disaster, right? One day people will learn that this whole making history thing ain't worth it.
According to state police, the organization used social media to make drug and money transactions, with some money used to purchase guns linked to violent crimes. While the mayor awaits his court appearance, those who support him say they want answers surrounding his alleged involvement and want them now.
We're very grateful for this mayor, and it's just ridiculous.
Tonight, we did ask about the next steps if the mayor's caught up in this investigation. We're told that the city council president will act as mayor if the mayor misses 7 days or resigns from his position. Right now, there's no word on when the mayor will make an appearance in court. Reporting live in Bogalusa tonight, Jonah Gilmore, WDSU News.
Yeah, so you see, Nate, you heard that. Now, this mayor claims that he is innocent, and technically he is innocent until proven guilty. I just find it hard to believe that law enforcement would bring these charges against this mayor unless they had some really, really, really strong evidence that he was involved. Again, I don't know, right? I'm just saying I'm not surprised to see making history once again. It seems to be backfire. At some point, people will have to learn not to vote based off making history. But then again, these residents seem to be very adamant in their defense of this young man. And who knows, maybe he's innocent, maybe he's not. I don't know. I'm just saying that I don't think this is a coincidence that you have all this drama and chaos as a result of a 22, 23-year-old being voted into office. I think that is way too young to be running a city. Okay, I think that's way too young to be a representative. I think, like, just in general, right, there's a reason why when it comes to our leadership, like, for example, being the president of the United States, yeah, there is a age minimum. Okay, the reason why is because you need some hair on your cojones, you need some gray, right? You need some wisdom in order to be able to make good decisions, right? You actually need to live life. At 22, 23 years old, I was an idiot, right? I didn't know anything about life, and I cannot imagine being a mayor and running a city at such a young age. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some talented individuals out there, okay, that are smart, that have great leadership skills, but you can't really replace life experience, right? And I think life experience, work experience, just being out there and just living life, I think is something that can't be replaced no matter how smart you are. And I think it's important that our elected officials, at the very least, have some life experience before they are allowed to run a government, to run a municipality, because you got to make decisions that affect people's lives. And I just want to see our elected officials have a lot more life experience before getting into office. Okay, now I don't mind a young 30-year-old, 35-year-old, maybe a 40-year-old being in office. I think that you have enough life experience to, at the very least, know what you're doing, okay, and to understand the ramifications of your decisions. But when you're talking about a 22, 23-year-old, it's just too young. And when you have all that power as a 23-year-old, hey, stuff like this happens, right? You think that you're invincible, you're on top of the world, you are already running a city at a young age. Yeah, I'm not surprised that a situation like this would pop up as a result of a 23-year-old running a city. Not surprised at all. So again, we will see what happens here. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.